ask ChatGPT to write you a YouTube script, and it came out sounding like any other agency owner on the internet, right? That's not an AI problem, that's a prompt problem. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. I built a system inside Claude that writes scripts in my exact voice, my cadence, my vocabulary, my patterns. I don't even write my own scripts anymore. And the crazy part, the people watching can tell. In this video, I'm walking you through my exact setup, step by step, on screen. But who am I? I'm Adam. I run a YouTube done for you agency when we help agency owners, coaches, consultants sign high-ticket clients from YouTube without relying on cold outreach and paid ads. Let's get to the sauce. All right, so we are in the cloud right now, but before we start typing here, we need one thing, and those are your transcripts of your previous videos on YouTube. Now, if you are starting out and you don't have YouTube videos, that's okay. You can use, for example, like transcripts of your Loom videos that you're sending to the clients, right? So it's okay. And if you don't have a Loom or for some reason you don't want to like take them, you can also take, for example, transcripts of your favorite YouTubers' videos. But I recommend to use your own transcripts of your own videos, because the main thing we want to do here is we want to make your scripts 100% authentic, right? So for that, as you can see, I prepared 3 transcripts. I recommend 3, maybe 5, but at least 3, right? I prepared here 3 transcripts of my Looms, and now we want to type our first prompt. And just to show you, here are the prompts, and there are 4 prompts that we're gonna use, and the first prompt looks like this. So we're gonna copy this, and this is basically something like, these are transcripts of my, and this, as I said, could be like Loom videos, YouTube videos, sales calls, or as I said, your favorite YouTuber videos, but I don't recommend that. And then give it a brief context, like these are sent to my potential clients in case of Looms, right? And then here's the important part: analyze them deeply. Extract my tone and energy. How do I show up on a camera? My cadence, sentence rhythm, pacing, how I build to a point, and then recurring patterns and habits, things I do consistently without realizing, vocabulary, fingerprints, words, phrases, transitions I overuse. And then, this is a big one, unexpected truth about my communication style, things I wouldn't even notice myself. This is a huge one. And yeah, let's just wait for Claude to respond. All right, and as you can see, this is a huge breakdown of my entire style here. As you can see, there are a lot of information here. For example, you know, you came across as friendly, approachable, and not threatening. Your most used words and phrases. And as you can see, there are information which I'm not gonna read you because I don't know if you are interested in this, but you want to definitely check out your results. All right, and now what we're gonna do, we want to create a dictionary of our vocabulary, right? So for that, I'm gonna use this prompt. Based on those transcripts, build me a vocabulary dictionary. Include words and phrases I use often, with example context. My go-to transitions and sentence starters. Words or expressions I never use. Any slang contractions or informal patterns that are distinctly mine. Format it so I could hand it to someone and they'd be able to write my voice. That's the prompt number 2. If you are wondering, I'm using a pro version of Claude. All right, and now as you can see, those are the words that I mostly use. Also, there's a sorted by very high, low, medium, right? And then also, what is beautiful in Claude, it gives you a very good format of it, right? So there are tabs that I can go through, and the first tab is high use words, but then we have transitions, right? And then never uses. Never uses, also there are a lot of examples, right? Voice patterns, here's the voice patterns that I use. It's basically beautiful how Claude works compared to, I don't know, ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So now Claude has a lot of information about basically my style, my vocabulary, and everything like that. So what we want to do now is we want to teach him how to write perfect scripts. For that, it's gonna teach itself by the right prompt. So the prompt looks like this. Firstly, you give it a context, right? So I run, and here you type the type of business you run. So for example, B2B agency, coaching practice, consultancy, helping, and now you type here who you help and with what do you help those people. And then you type, I want to use YouTube specifically to build trust, build authority, book more calls for my high ticket offer, for example, okay? Then you give some information about your ideal viewer or ideal client, name it. So you type who they are, what they're struggling with. For example, agency owners who are doing 10 to 30K per month, who are tired of cold outreach, for example, right? Then you type in the task. Help me design the perfect script framework for my channel. Cover, and this is the important part, the overall structure of a video should look like. What psychological mechanism to use, like open loops, pattern interrupts, reframes, etc. How to open videos so people don't click it off in the first 30 seconds. How to close videos so the viewer take action. That's a huge one. And and also very important part, then ask me any questions that will help you refine this even further, right? So you give in a context, you give information about your LDR viewer, then you write a task, but also you want to ask him to ask you more questions. So let's see how that works. Okay, so now you should have a short Claude survey. As you can see, there are only 3 questions, and keep in mind that depending on what you wrote here, you can have different questions. So just, go through it and answer it. In my case, this is, who is your ideal viewer? Let's say agency owners, any niche, right? What's the first thing your ideal viewer is struggling with right now? But let's say it's no authority or visibility online. And then what stage are your ideal client viewer at? So let's say 5 to 20K per month. Obviously, if you're not sure if any of these answers is correct to you, then you can also type a custom answer here, right? But I'm gonna check this one, and as you can see, you answered the questions, and now Claude is doing the task you wrote before. Right now, Claude's done, and this is mind-blowing, guys. You have all the knowledge you basically have to have when it comes down to writing YouTube scripts. I know it from my experience. This is what actually works. Yeah, so basically the hook, the credibility drop, the reframe, the meat, right? And value delivery, the proof moment, the close, yeah, all of that. Then you have the psychology behind it. So open loops, pattern interrupts, the reframe, future pacing, identity anchoring. This is awesome. Then opening, the intros, right? How your intros should look like. So the bold claim, the pain first hook, a lot of practical knowledge here. And the close, the 1-sentence summary, the soft qualifier, one CTA specific and low friction. This is what literally works, guys. And you didn't have to know it. You basically ask Claude to type it in, and he provides you the whole knowledge when it comes down to writing a YouTube script. And what's even better is that now he has this knowledge which he created on his own, and now to make it work, to make this whole system work, now you want to use the last prompt, which is to basically turn everything he said into one skill. Now take everything we've built in this conversation, my video transcript and raw voice material, my full voice and style breakdown, my vocabulary dictionary, my script framework and the principles behind it, and combine it into a single Claude skill. All you need to do is press enter and the magic happens. All right, and it took Claude basically like 3 minutes and our skill is done. All we have to do is to click save skill, and now our skill is saved. I'm not gonna do this because I've already built this skill using the exact same method, so I'm not gonna do that, but I also want to show you how to actually use this skill. So here is how I've used it to create script for this video, okay? So as you can see, this is a pretty long prompt, and this is a key to actually use it effectively, because you want to provide as much information as you possibly can about the video you want to create so the Claude can write you a good script, right? So I wrote down basically everything. I want to make a YouTube video something like how to write a YouTube script without being generic using AI. I want to make it screenshot type video where I show on my screen how to do it in Claude. Also, I want to make some strong intro and outro. The process I want to show looks like this. And now you basically type here the process, what you're gonna cover in the video. And then I type to use this skill, but you don't have to do that. Claude, I'm gonna do this automatically. The reason I did that, I was experimenting with different skills and stuff like that, and I wanted to use this one specifically. So remember to be as much specific as you can and provide as much information about your video as you possibly can to make it work effectively. You can just copy me, you can just, use the same exact prompt, but change the information about your video. Obviously, every prompt that I've used is gonna be available in the video description, so go ahead and copy the prompts. And if every of this landed, there's the free YouTube audit linked below, because scripts are only the small part of a whole YouTube production. If you want to actually leverage YouTube in your marketing strategy, then you also need a right strategy. You need to know how to package your video. You need to know how to make it engaging. I mean, those scripts already told you how to make it engaging, but you also need to know how to edit your videos in an engaging way. So if you're ready for this, as I said, there's a link below to book a call in which I'm gonna show you a strategy which you can implement to your existing channel, or you can implement it if you just wanna start a YouTube channel. But if you're not ready yet, you can watch this video in which my partner explains what you can lose as a business owner if you don't have a YouTube channel. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.